So the dent I'm going to be fixing today is an often common dent that we see here, and this is from someone backing into their garbage can. And in Minnesota here we have some large garbage cans or recycling bins, and oftentimes this is the type of dent we see from somebody backing into the garbage can and hitting the back of their vehicle or the back quarter panel. Now first what we're going to do is examine the damage. When someone calls with this type of dent, oftentimes they say, hey, it's probably about the size of a quarter or maybe a little bit bigger than a quarter. Once we bring it in and take a look at it properly with either a light or a line board and we put a measurement on it, we can see from one direction that it actually is 2 inches in size. But even looking at it from the back of it, the overall damage of how far this is actually stretched out is over 3 inches in size. Hey, I'm Steven with Excel Dent Removal. I've got a paintless dent repair shop right here in Blaine, Minnesota, and I get customers coming from all over the Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St Paul to have their dents fixed with us. So if you've got a similar dent from backing into a garbage can or a door ding on your vehicle, contact me here and we'll get that taken care of for you. Alright, the first thing we need to do is take a look at the inside for access. And the first thing we have here is this one panel. So all I need to do is remove this instead of taking the whole interior trim out. Now with that little part out of the way, we can see on the inside here that we do have some access to the back of the panel. And with that, there is wide open access, but that's going to give us some trouble. And I'm going to show you in a minute the issue we have with leverage. And we can actually see right here, this is right below the taillight. You can see this little raised spot, and that is actually the deepest part of the dent. So the problem we have with a dent way out in the open is there's no good way to apply leverage to push out the dent. And I'm going to take off this side trim piece here. There's several 8mm bolts and a few clips, and I'm hoping that I'm going to have a hole or two to use a hook to use my PDR bar and apply leverage, or a hole that I can work through. And I've just got a couple of small clips to remove here. And then once we have it out of the way, you can see here we've got 2 holes that we can choose from. All right, now I need to secure the latch partly open so that I can work on it here. And I have my hatch jammer that I have here that I'm just going to attach to the hook. We're going to slightly close it and latch it on there. And that just gives me a pretty good stable setup. Now I have this upper hole here. Looks like a good size hole to use one of my PDR bars, give me straight access right to the dent. Now that this dent is slightly sharp, I want to get it up to a good working temperature. I've got my get a grip arm here holding my heat gun. I've got a medium setting for warming it up, probably right around this 120 to 130 degree range. Now the first PDR tool I'm going to use here is from A1 Tools. I've got a little bit of Tessa tape on here just to soften up the pushes slightly, just so I'm not pushing too sharp on the dent. And with the tape on here, I'm just gently pushing up the dent. I'm not trying to overforce it or take all the dent out. I just want to take out the bulk of it just to lightly bring it up here first. Now that I brought up some of the dent, I want to just take my knockdown here with my Edgy Tools peg leg tip and just slightly open up the dent just a little bit more so that once I get inside and push this again, I can push down in the bottom. And now I've got the same PDR tool here, and I just took the tape off, and that is just allowing me to get down into the bottom of the dent a little bit better and just bring up just those bottom lows. Now, when working on damage like this, it's always good to check it from multiple different angles. And from here, I want to look at it from the top down. And once I do that, I'm able to see that there is one little sharp spot right here. And then right up towards the taillight, it's still quite a bit low across the width of the dent. And here I've switched to my Edgy Tools Metal Knockdown. This just allows me to be a lot more precise, to just knock down just the high spots that are needed and not over knock down the whole damage. So now that I've got most of the low spots out, I want to switch back again to a tool with some tape on it. And the reason I grabbed this tool is just because it already had the tape on it, and it still works good to get inside. And what I want to do is bring up just the low spots that were around the deepest part of the dent and right underneath that taillight where it was still a little bit low. It just helps to have that softer tool so it's not too sharp, and just lightly bring up everything around it. So now that it's looking good from this direction, I want to switch to the opposite direction to see if there's any more lows or if there's any issues, and from this way it's looking great. So now I want to take and bring my light up above and go from the bottom up direction. And from this direction here, I am still seeing some lows, and mostly just using that soft tip tool just to lightly bring up any soft areas. Alright, now that all the pushing is finished up, it's just going to take a little bit of light sanding with some 3000 grit paper here just to take down some of those minor scratches from when they hit the garbage can. And then I'm going to want to buff and polish this out to a nice smooth finish. Alright, from here we want to open up the gate and reinstall that side trim piece and the interior pieces. Just plugging that electrical wiring back in there and lining all this up. Then I want to snap in a few of the clips and put the bolts back in to hold it together. Alright, in just a second I'm going to take the vehicle outside. We'll take a look at the vehicle from a couple of directions to take a look at the final results of the repair. So if you need paintless dent repair for a dent in your vehicle from either backing into it with a garbage can or any other door dings or minor dents, give me a call here at Excel Dent Removal. We've got our shop location in Blaine, Minnesota. You can contact me anytime at 763-780-4000, or for more contact information or texting pictures of your damage, you can do that on our website at exceldentremoval.com.